Welcome to EIP Editing Office Hour, meeting number 34. This is issue number 324 on Eat Catherder's GitHub repository. Thank you, Samuelson, for joining us. And I see in the chat the first pull request is 282.
Do you want to start with 178 or 282?
We have the author of 282. If you would like to maybe start from there and we can
Sure.
take the questions. Yeah.
All right. So, Daniel, did you have any questions about this in particular, or?
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Me and this is Daniel here, and my colleague George is also on the call. So I don't know. I'm helping George to get an understanding just that just anybody trying to understand this pull request.
Sure, yeah.
Should I explain it?
Yeah, I think if you want to give me a little bit of an overview, that'd be great, and then we can go into it.
Oh, so I think what we're trying to do here, we're trying to encoding the multiple parameter into bytes. So we can instead of sending the core data groups, and we will just using the bytes and compress the on-trend data to save gas or to achieve like atomic operations. So for example, if we want to have a proof transaction, like a proof amount then to transfer from, and we can combine those two cores into one single core, like sort of we can encode those two core into one single bytes, and then somehow and the smart contract account will try to execute it as a single step. If it fails to transfer from, the approval also get reverted. So
Okay.
and another use case will be if somebody wants to transfer 10 USD to someone, and they don't have enough Ethereum on their account to make the to pay for the gas. Instead of having them to like swap some Ethereum for the transfer, we can ask someone like a sort of someone who pays the gas, who pays the transaction fee, and we can, like, if we want to transfer 1,000 USD, and we can pay a proxy guy to take 10 USD for the gas fee, and he will do the transfer for us. So we can bind all the operation into one single core data, and somehow we manage to have a smart contract account to execute it. The author, it's actually George. So, but I'm helping him with the English here.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So there is one thing I'm trying to find here that might be relevant, but I can't seem to click on anything on my browser, which is absolutely lovely when that happens. Let's try moving this over here. Hey, that works. Okay.
Do we have a magician discussion on top? Well,
Sorry. Okay, so this is a similar kind of proposal, but from the wallet side. So I'd recommend talking to these people a little bit about how to make the API endpoints for this. But let's dive into your proposal here. All right.
we provide a quite simple like implementation for it at the bottom of the proposal.
Okay, perfect.
And I think we emphasizing on the way we encode this code. It's not how the like the API interface looks like. So
Right.
we try to propose a way to encoding this like several cores together and to save space. Like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the reason I want to connect you with these 5792 people is because you'll need to provide an API at some point for somebody to be able to use this. So it'd be good to make sure that this proposal is compatible with other proposals on the wallet side. But it's not required. I'm just pointing it out as somebody who's doing something similar. Yeah, so let's
Oh,
take a look
thank
at
you very
this.
much.
No, no
We
problem.
definitely will be in touch with them to talk about this.
Awesome. Okay, so let's say. Okay, so I think your description is really good, so that makes sense. Okay, so okay. Smart contract wallets to consolidate multiples. Okay, that's good. As well as non. Okay. Typically, interactions between users and such as approve, then transfer from, while EUA wallets require users to confirm each operation sequentially. Smart contract wallets. Yeah, so that's good. I think you do a good job laying out the motivation for your proposal. Where'd that go? There you are. Okay, proposes security risk. Good. Be used to implement both. In addition to the atomic operation of approved transfer mentioned above, gas payment delegation can also be achieved. Set of calls. Okay. Press multiple optimized call bytes, each defined by the. Okay. To value. Yes, I think this is decent, but I don't think this specification section includes enough information on who you expect to implement this. Like, is this something that the smart contract account itself would decode?
Yeah, possibly, but it's not limited to the smart contract account itself.
Okay.
It's basically even for a contract who wants to use this atomic like sort of operations, trying to group operations together, they can still use it.
Okay. Yes, I think so. Let's call each defined by the encoding of two value data. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I think it's good. It needs a little bit more detail on who's going to be implementing this and where in the stack it's going to sit. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is really good. Backwards compatibility. This year does not change. Okay, does not change other ERC standards for Ethereum applications. This proposal only specifies the encoding of optimized calls, but specific implementation and naming. Yeah, I think that needs to be in backticks for code. Okay. Good. Yeah, so okay. Okay. So you have the bundler. Yeah, okay. So I think it's a little bit more clear after quickly reading your reference implementation. I think that's reasonable. I think you just need to say something about where this fits in the specification section. Otherwise, this is really good. Yeah, thanks for submitting this. It's good.
Thank you
Okay,
very much for your advice. Thank you. We'll definitely improve that. Thank you for your time.
no problem. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So you want to
So
do
the next one,
178.
8. That's correct.
Okay, sorry if I seem like I'm rushing today. I'm just double booked, so gotta get through this quickly. All right. So Sam, did you have any questions about this?
No.
All right, I will just take a look at it then.
I just also added the diagram as you asked last meeting. So
Okay. Straight swaps. Okay. Actually, let's go through these a little bit more. I don't remember reviewing this one. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah, let's give this a read through then. I think I remember this one now. Right. Just present framework for on-chain. Okay. Just swapping denotes a trade or contract when two parties mutually consent to button to facilitate the exchange. Okay. And then let's go down here. All right, that's a nice diagram.
thank you.
Get 500K from company P, pay 600K.
So now here I'm comparing the coupon to pay with IRS or without IRS. So if a company like issue bonds to
Mhm.
group investors, at 2%, then without IRS, if it is floating coupons, with benchmark is 2%, then if the benchmark is at 4%, it's 4%, then this company will pay 6K. If it is 3%, 5K, 500K, sorry. And if it's 5K, it will pay 700K. So it's a floating interest. Now he want to pay not a floating interest, but a fixed interest coupon. Then he can enter into a swap contract with another company who would wish to pay not a fix as it paying right now, but a floating. So they just exchange the interest. And as you can see, with IRS, the
Okay.
the company was supposed to pay a fixed interest will pay now a floating interest, and the one who was supposed to pay the floating now is paying a fixed interest.
Okay, so it's convert, like, so one company can convert a floating interest into a fixed interest, and another
Exactly,
company does the opposite side of it. Okay, that
exactly,
makes sense.
exactly.
So floating interest rate. Yeah, okay, so swapping fixed. Okay. Drinking. Interest rate fluctuations. Interest. Okay, it's this currently in absence. IRS contracts. Okay, something. No, I think implementation is better. Fixed for, yeah, okay. Swapping fixed for floating interest. I'm very nitpicky on the description, I'm sorry. On-chain implementation of derivative contracts, swapping fixed and floating interest rates. So, okay. Whoops. But you are. Okay, so that's all good, and then we have a nice diagram. Must implement the following interface, must inherit from ERC20. Okay, that's good. Terminate swap.
I also changed the name of the payer and the receiver as you suggested on
Okay.
it magicians. Yeah. And also
Oh
added
yeah, these are much nicer, I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
and I also added the decimal.
Oh, good. So now we can actually convert between two different
Yeah,
contracts. Yeah,
exactly.
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Swap rate, floating rate. Change the contract, swapping RS, could be a currency. Should be used in the swap function. Good. Returns the notional amount in unit of asset to be transferred when swapping IRS. The notional amount in unit of asset to be transferred. Used for calculating. Okay. Okay, so the notional amount. Okay, so get out of here.
I think it doesn't matter because the national is not transferred. It just serves as the amount used to calculate the interest that will be the difference of interest that will be transferred to one party. Because when you swap interest, not the two parties are going to transfer the interest. Only the difference will be transferred. For example, if by calculating the swap, we see that like company A need to transfer like 10 USDC to company
Okay.
B. Then this 10 USBs will be transferred to company B. But the notional is not being transferred. It just serves because when you need to calculate rate, you need an amount, something like the principal, right? So you for this principle, we just use the national. So it will be 1 million, 10 million, and something like that.
Okay, so you're gonna have to walk me. You're gonna have to explain that. So I have no financial background. You're gonna have to like
Oh,
dumb this down a lot for me. So, okay, so what is this notional amount? If I was using this contract, why would I need to know this number?
you use this number because you want to calculate the interest rate, right? Or if you want to calculate rates, you need an amount because the rate is like a principal multiplied by a percentage, right?
Right?
So this percentage need to be multiplied by a number. And
Yes.
this number, in the case of interest rate swap, is called national. It is not transferred. It just serves to calculate how much interest do we need to send to either the receiver or the payer. So it could be 100, 100. What matters is the difference because as I don't know if you can look at the image. As I said, let's go to the image.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see here, for example, the company A without iOS need to pay 6K, right? And company B need to pay, or maybe the second example. For the second example, company A needs to pay 500K and company B need to pay 600K. But when swapping, we can realize that company A now need to pay 600K and company B need to pay 500K. What happens when swapping? Company A is not sending all, let's say, 400K to company B. It's just difference because now we see that with the IRS, company A need to pay 6K and company B need to pay 5K. So there is a difference of 100K, right?
Okay.
This 100K is what needs to be transferred from company A to company B. And in order to get this 100K, we need a national to calculate the interest rate difference, right?
Right. So I guess my question is like, is the number represented as like let's say you're transferring like 1 USDC and USDC hypothetically has a decimal amount of 18. Is the number returned by notional amount going to be 1 or is it going to be 1 followed by 18 zeros?
Or it could be one with 18 0. Yeah, it could be.
Okay. So like this value here, is it going to be here, hang on. Yeah, so you see, you say here this notional amount may be equal to 100
Yeah,
or 1 million USDC, but
yeah.
the normal way to represent 1 million USDC on chain
On chain,
is,
yeah, I got
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm just wondering, does this function return 1 million or does it return 1 million followed by a bunch of zeros?
Actually, it doesn't matter. But yes, if because I say USDC, then we need 80, but it could be 1 million, like 1 million or 10 million and so on. Maybe just remove USDC at the end of.
Yes, I think that would make it clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay. Payment frequency. So what is this? This is probably in seconds, I would assume. Okay, return payment dates. That makes sense. Starting date of the swap contract. Yep. Returns the maturity date of the swap contract. Yep. Okay. Starting date. Okay. Returns the function. Benchmark. Okay. With the 0 address. Okay, good. Receiver. Interest different to the payer and the receiver. Form must be called by either the payer or the receiver. Okay. So the interest IRS must be tokenized using. Just should present. Okay. Good. Functions. Okay. That's fine. Reference implementation is good. Good. It's CC0, CC0, also CC0. This all looks fine. Nice comment or graphic. So the only thing here. Okay. Good. So I think all of my comments here are pretty minor. So I'm going to go ahead and approve this as a draft. Good. Just try to fix them before moving to review. But I don't think there's anything significant enough here to hold it up.
Okay.
But this won't merge on its own. So I will wait for this to. Yeah, everything's passed, so I'll just force merge this. Yeah, so just yeah, like I said, just try to deal with those at some point, but it's not, they're not pressing. So awesome, thanks. I got a dip. Talk to you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Sam. And just for people to
Thank
know,
you.
from next week onward, we are going to change the meeting time, and it is going to be at 1400 UTC. So that it would be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for people in the United States. And yeah, we hope Sam gets some more time to maybe review the proposals which are already added to the agenda. And if those won't be reviewed before the next meeting, I will be carrying them over. Thank you, everyone.